Welcome to our second class, GBS Chinese Academy. In our previous lesson, we were able to talk about the basics to do Chinese language. We were able to briefly talk about the importance of learning Chinese. So in this lesson, I'm also going to expound more on what we covered. I'm going to talk about the Pinyin structure. So in this lesson, I want to talk about Pinyin structure. So as I said in our previous lesson, the Pinyin is basically a Chinese syllable written in English alphabets. This was invented because of the foreigners who are not able to learn character, to pronounce character. So for them to get the pronunciation from the characters, they first have to learn Pinyin. So the introduction to Pinyin also is very important. So a Pinyin is just a syllable, just like an English syllable, I can say. But also, we have to learn about the structure of this Pinyin for us to be able to pronounce many different Chinese words as we proceed. So, as I said in a previous lesson, as we continue to study, then Pinyin are going to decrease and characters are going to increase. So, this time, allow me to talk about the Pinyin structure. So, here we have the Pinyin structure is made up of plus, final, plus tone. This is the Pinyin structure, initial, final, and tones. This is what makes up a syllable. So first I'll discuss about tones, because tones, they carry the meaning in any syllable. We may have the same syllable, but when there is a different tone, then there's also variation in the meaning. So first, allow me to talk about the 4 Chinese tones that we are going to cover in this lesson. So first I have to write it below a vowel just to get the sound. So these are the 4 tones we are going to discuss. Of course, you have the neutral one, it's just neutral. Then the first one is flat. Then the second one is ascending. This one is ascending. The third one descends, then ascends. Then the fourth one just descends one or drops. So all these 4 tones, we are going to meet them when we are learning Chinese. So the first one, how do you pronounce it? Now this is the most important part of it. So I'll pronounce the first one. We are going to pronounce together, so you can pronounce after me. So from my pronunciation, then you can see there is a flow of these tones, because the first one is just flat. Just flat. Then the second one is ascending. Then the third one, is like descending, then ascending. Then we have the last one, So only descends once. So let me explain something to have with the aspect of this, the effect of these tones on different Pinyin. So we may have a word like So these two words, they have the same pinyin. They have the same pinyin, but the tones are different. So difference in tone brings out difference in meaning. So how, this one we pronounce it how, because it has the third tone, descending then ascending. How. So this one you pronounce as how. When you say ni hao, which means well. Then we have the second one. So this one first. Here we have second. This one has a fourth tone, just descending once. So this one is how. Repeat after me. So we have how. So the pinyin are the same, but the structure is, the tones are different. So this one means well, but this one means number. You can say date. So when I'm talking about date, I'll say Jintian, let's say today is 5th. Jintian shi wu hao. Jintian shi wu hao, meaning today is on 5th. So I'm going to use hao, referring to date. But when we are talking about, so when we look at both of them, we find that the pinyin is the same, but difference in tone has already brought about a difference in meaning. So this is the impact of tone when you are discussing about Chinese words. So these are enough tones. So together we can pronounce again ah. So it is very important for us to grasp the pronunciation of these tones, because we are going to meet these tones in different words and they are going to influence the meaning of the words. So you'll find that it is a challenge to us because we have learned English and other languages. Our languages is not tonal, but when we want to learn Chinese, it is so important that we get to practice these tones. So I'm also going to discuss about the initials and the finals. So in the second part, allow me to talk about the initials. So we have the initials. So initials are like the consonants. So I'm going to write down all the initials. So these are some of the initials that you're going to learn on the introduction part. But as we proceed, we're also going to expound on these initials. So as I said earlier, the structure being initials, final, and tones. So the first part is an initials. So these are part of the initials. So together, let us pronounce these initials. So for us to pronounce these initials, we have to add a vowel. We are going to add a vowel. So let me pronounce this one. Buo, buo, puo, puo, muo, muo, fuo, fuo. So for these 4 initials, I have added O as a vowel to get the sound. So, but from this one, I'm going to add. So, da, ta, na, la, go, ko, ho, ji, chi, shi. So, these are some of the basic Chinese consonants or initials, but there are more than 20. We are going to discuss more in our subsequent classes. So for these classes, we have learned about the pinyin structure, the tones, and the initials. So in our next lesson, we are going to wind up on pinyin structure, and also we are going to discuss the details of initials, finals, and tones. We have also the special ones, so I'll be able to explain that in our next lesson. So for more classes on Chinese Academy, always tune into GBS. Join us in our next lesson. For more classes, you can check our social media platforms, then you'll be able to join us for these classes. Thank you so much for being part of GBS Chinese Academy.